Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video we're going to make some stuffed buns. So we're going to make in the shapes of little piggies. We're going to make fish shaped buns and caterpillar buns. Some filled with chocolate, some filled with a little bit of cheese and some plain. So if you want to know how we make this yummy and cute little buns, let's watch the video. So for the whole wheat buns, we need very few ingredients here. Here I've taken 4 cups of whole wheat flour. It comes up to around 500 grams. Then I've taken 1 tablespoon of yeast. This is instant dry yeast. I've taken 2 tablespoons of jaggery. You can increase it if you like your buns a little too sweet, or decrease it to 1 spoon as well, 1 tablespoon. Taken 1.5 teaspoon of salt and 6 tablespoons of butter. This is softened butter and this one is unsalted, so you can use salted as well. If you're using salted, then just take 1 tablespoon of salt. And I've got some oil, around 1 to 2 tablespoons, which will help me to knead the dough. And I've got 1 cup of milk. This is full fat milk and this is warm, lukewarm. By lukewarm I mean when I put my finger and when I count till 5, the number 5 I will feel the milk is the hottest. So that is what I mean when I say lukewarm. And then I have little bit of warm water. The amount of water that we require depends on the flour as well. So we'll add little by little when we are going to make the dough. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add the jaggery to the milk and the yeast as well. And I'm going to mix this. Once I mix it, I'll wait for the yeast to activate. This is instant yeast, so you can directly add it to the flour as well. But I always like to activate my yeast before using it. So, and you can use instant yeast or dry yeast as well. Both works fine. It's been 10 minutes since we've mixed our yeast with milk and jaggery. Now, I don't know whether you can see can you see the bubbles here? And you can see it inside as well. It's all puffed up. Can you see that? Yes, our yeast is ready. Now let's start making the bread. The first thing I'm going to do is pour the yeast into our flour and then gently start mixing it in. So we're going to add water little by little. You can add milk as well. We're going to add water little by little till this forms into a dough. I'm going to use my hand now. Add little more water. This water is lukewarm. We need lukewarm water. I'm going to keep mixing in, adding little by little water till all the dry flour blends in well and we get a smooth dough. I've added around a total of 1 cup of water. So now you might feel that the dough is a little dry. Don't worry, because we're going to add in our butter. I'm just going to put in all the butter and just leave around 1 tablespoon of it in our bowl. So what I need you to do is just mix in the butter into the dough. Knead it in well. Now if you see, all the butter has been mixed well with the flour. Can you see that? Now we got a really soft dough. This is what we're looking for. Can you see that? How soft the dough is. Before adding the butter, make sure that the dough is not very liquidy or very soft. Then when you add the butter, then we'll end up with a liquid dough. So make sure that it almost resembles our roti dough. And then when you add the butter, then it just softens a little bit. Now we're going to knead this for around 10 to 15 minutes. I'm not going to use another plate to knead it. I'm just going to knead it in the bowl itself. So, and if it sticks to your hand, just take some oil and just rub your hands with oil and then knead the dough with oil. That's all we're going to do. We're not going to add any extra flour, but if you end up with a really wet dough that you can't manage, then go ahead and dust little flour at a time till you can manage it. So let's knead this for around 15 minutes. That's done. Now we're going to just shape it. So I'm going to just take the dough, turn it around and then pinch the edges inside like this. Can you see that? I'm just pinching the edges. Okay, that's done. Now I'm going to take some oil and rub it on the dough. Now you'll come to know that your dough is ready when you just touch it and then it'll just spring back. If you see that, it just springs back slightly. Okay, that's done. So I'm going to just apply some oil on the dough and I'm going to grease the bowl as well with good amount of oil. It's been an hour since we've mixed and left our dough to proof. Now if you see, it's risen in size. It's actually doubled. Now I'm going to leave this aside and I'm going to show you what I'm going to fill it with. So here I have my DIY chocolate sauce. I already have a video how to make it. So I'm not going to use any sweetener, additional sweetener. I make this with date syrup. I've just made it a little thicker or a spreadable consistency. I've left it at that. So I'll leave a link to how to make this chocolate spread in the description box below. And I also have some peppercorns as eyes for our fishes. And then I have some white sesame and some black sesame. I'll also need one toothpick, and some oil so that I can grease my hands when I'm going to make the bread. So now let's start making this. Now I'm going to just punch the dough and I'm going to take it onto a plate. See, it just comes off. I'm going to make this into 3 parts and keep this aside. I'm dividing this into 3 parts because I'm going to show you 3 different shapes, and that's why. Otherwise you can just make it into the same shape as well. The first one we are going to make is the fish shaped one. So I'm just going to cut this into 2 parts because I'm going to make 2 of them. I've got a silicone sheet here. I'm going to lightly grease this with oil. Just make this into a roll here, a ball. I'm not using any rolling pin to roll this, but you can go ahead and use it if you feel it's easier with that. So if we don't need an exact circle, we just need a shape like that, a flat, something like a roti. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some chocolate spread and I'm going to spread it in the center of the center, and then I'm going to slice both the ends. I'm going to make incisions like this, or slice these ends like this. Okay, once I do, you can add in some nuts if you like as well. Today I'm not adding in. So I'm just going to braid it like this, or just overlap it. If you see, I'm taking one and I'm pressing it, taking the other and just pressing it over. So I'm doing just that. Just taking one from this side, pressing it here, take the other. If you feel that you've run out of those strips, you can just cut a few at the end and just seal it in like that. If there's any extra, just pinch it out. And if you see the ends here, I'm just going to cut this out like that. That's it, our fish is done. So we need eyes for our fish, so I'm going to just put 1 pepper for our fishy. So that's it, our fish buns are done. So you see that, how simple it was. Now we have the second set of dough. So I'm going to show you how to make caterpillars. So I'm just going to cut it into 4 pieces. Again, I'm going to pinch in the edges to make it a ball. That way. I'm going to flatten it. These are going to be small rotis, flatbreads. Okay, and then I'm taking a little bit of chocolate and I'm putting it in the center, almost in the center, if you see. And I'm taking one side of the flatbread or the roti and I'm just covering it, and I'm going to just pinch the edges like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to then slice the other end like this. And then just pinch it in here. See that it is sealed well, otherwise once it's proofed it will just open up like that. You can make thinner stripes as well, that way. And now you see that you can just pinch this edge as the tail. Make sure that all the strips are fastened, and then I'm going to take another pepper and place it over here. You want to do it? Yeah. Thank you. And we have a caterpillar as well here. So that was that simple to make our caterpillar buns. Now we're going to make the third variety of our buns, and it's going to be a pig-shaped bun. So I've made this leftover dough into a log, and I'm going to just roughly make pieces out of it or portion them out. Okay. Now out of this I'm going to pinch out another portion, and I'm going to keep this aside. I'll show you why I'm going to do that. And I'm going to make this into a ball. Now if you want to put in any filling into it, you can just flatten it and place a small cube of cheese or any filling you like, but I'm going to keep this plain. So I'm going to just pinch all the edges together like this. And then just roll it to make the surface soft. That's done. I'm going to take a small piece out, and then I'm going to just roll our nose, make it into a small oval shaped, and I'm going to just press it on our piggy's face. Now our leftover small piece of dough, I'm going to make it into 2 equal portions. I'm going to make it into a small ball, and I'm going to just flatten it like that, if you see, and then pinch the edges on top here like that, and just shape it into a ear. And then I'm going to just press it onto the face of our piggy. I'm going to just repeat the other one as well. Just roll it into a ball, flatten it, pinch the sides, just shape it a little bit, and then make the piggy ears. Now that's done. Now for the eyes, I'm going to take the black sesame. I'm going to take 1 sesame, and I'm going to just place it on the pig's face. I'm going to do the same with the other side as well. Just adjust it and place it. And now for the nose. So I've taken a toothpick here. I'm going to just dip it in a little bit of oil. So like that. I do this so that the flour doesn't get stuck on the toothpick. And then I'm going to, I'll show you like that. I'm going to gently take this in my hand, and I'm going to poke a hole in the nose area and just give it a roll like that. So you see one side of the nose and then the other side of the nose. And there you go, our piggy is ready. So I'm going to put this on the parchment paper. My boys come and say that they want their piggies to have some cheese filling. So I'm just going to take the ball and then roll it flat like this. Then I'm going to place 1 cube of any cheese that you're going to use. I'm using cheddar cheese, and I'm going to just pinch the edges like this, like how you would stuff a roti typically, and then pinch the edges well, turn it around, then just pinch it so that the top is smooth, and then I'll just roll it around like that. Now you can see that the bottom is smooth that way. Okay, that's done. I'm going to take a small piece out, and then I'm going to just roll our nose, make it into a small oval shape, and I'm going to just press it on our piggy's face. And then I'm going to divide the small piece into 2 small piece, make it the ear. So we're just going to shape them, place the ear on either sides. This is a bigger ear, so I'm going to just pinch off a little bit more from that. See that you make it almost the similar size. Okay, that's done. Now our nose. Going to dip our toothpick in oil. I'm going to just create a incision inside our nose. And there you go. That one is done as well. Now put 2 small sesame seeds on as eyes. And there, our second piggy is ready as well. And this one is cheese-filled piggy. Now what we need to do is we need to proof this for 20 minutes before we bake this. But when we were making the rest of the dough, this has already taken us 20 minutes. And our fish buns have doubled in size, or they have proofed. So now I'm going to bake this. So now before I bake this, I'm going to gently give this a brush with milk. So just plain milk, and I'm going to brush it around on our buns. Once that's done, we'll sprinkle some sesame seeds on it. So I'm going to just put some white sesame around on it. You can mix with white and black as well, or just add white. Okay. Now the baking instructions for this one would be preheat our oven at 180 for 20 minutes and bake it at 180 for 30 minutes. So I'll see you after that. Now when our fish buns are getting baked, I had to put it in 2 trays because it wouldn't fit in one. So make sure that you give enough space between the buns, otherwise they'll just stick to each other. These 3 were made by my boys. So before I bake them, I'm going to brush them with milk, and then on the caterpillars I'm going to sprinkle some black and white sesame as well. So I'll just wait for the fish buns to be baked, and then I'll come to this one. Now once these have proofed for 20 minutes, I'm going to just brush some milk on them. The piggy ones I'm going to just brush on the nose. So I'm going to just take a little bit and brush it on the nose. Just like that. Okay. And I'm going to just sprinkle a mix of black and white sesame on our caterpillars. This is optional, it just gives a very nice texture and look on our caterpillars, and that's why I'm just sprinkling in a mix of white and black sesame. So for baking this, the instructions are going to be same. We are going to preheat our oven for 20 minutes and we're going to bake it at 180 for 25 to 30 minutes. So now let's bake this. Our buns are ready. Now how will we know that these are cooked? So just carefully lift them up, and if they are browned in the bottom, then they are ready. Now after they are out from the oven, when they are warm, I'm going to just brush them with some melted butter. Now there are many times that I've faced this issue where the nose or the ear falls off. Then you don't need to panic at this point of time. That's because we've not stuck it and it's got a little loose when it proofed or it's getting baked. So all you have to do is the filling we've used for our caterpillars, if you have them, or if you don't have that, any chocolate sauce or even jam, You just apply a little bit of jam or chocolate sauce on the nose or the ear, and then you can just stick it back onto the bun. So that's all you have to do. So our buns are ready. You can have them now, or you can keep it in the fridge and enjoy it for breakfast as well. There you go guys, our shaped buns are ready. Was it difficult? I think it was a little easy, right? So do let me know in the comment section if you found it difficult or easy, and do try them out. And if you do like it, do let me know again in the comment section. I'll see you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you again in the next video. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy. Bye bye.